In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at the paint bucket tool. And the paint bucket tool is used to fill areas and shapes with paint. So rather than trying to brush them in using the paintbrush, I can just simply fill them in using the paint bucket. Here I have a tolerance. Tolerance is used the same way that it is with the other tools like the magic wand, so it'll allow me to define the areas between two colors. So the smaller the number, the less variance between the colors, the tolerance could be used. I also have a couple of other options here as well. This all layers is probably the one that you're going to want to pay attention to the most. So right now it is layer specific, so when I go ahead and on this layer, which is just has, I can see from the thumbnail, it actually has my blue square and then also this purple square. I have my red rectangle in its own layer, this green oval in its own layer, and then this orange outline in its own layer as well. And I created this just so I can show you the difference of how this all layers work. So right now I use my main color palette as my paint bucket. So if I were to, let's say, want to color this yellow, if I were to choose and click just inside of this blue, it would just replace that blue with yellow. And I'm just going to undo that so you can see what's going on. So if I want to fill inside of this orange, I could click right there, it would fill that one. If I click here in the canvas, it's actually going to fill all of that as well. So I can't just fill just this red rectangle if I'm in this layer here. So if I wanted to fill just that red rectangle, I have to do one of two things. I either have to choose the layer that I'm trying to fill, or I have to choose this all layers box. And then what that will do is it'll actually analyze all of the layers and it will apply the paint bucket to all of the layers no matter which one is selected. So because I have all layers selected, it actually analyzes and knows where all of the shapes are in all of the layers. So if I just wanted to fill that area there and not the other ones that the other shapes are in, I can choose all layers. And I can see right now that if I uncheck that box and I try to fill that, it's going to fill the entire thing no matter what other shapes are in the other layers. But simply by clicking on that box, now it knows where the other shapes are in those other layers as well. So paint bucket, pretty straightforward. Use it to fill areas and shapes